Hello, my name is Jamie Mouton and I'm a 7th grade ELA teacher. Thank you for joining me today. What are we going to be learning about today? Today, we're going to write a narrative, my favorite kind of writing. And I bet by the end of this lesson, it might be your favorite also. So what you're going to need for this is a pen or a pencil and a sheet of paper. But if you have a laptop or a computer, that'll work just fine. All right, our objectives for today are you're going to develop a plan for writing a narrative using a story starter. And ultimately, that will lead to you to write a narrative to develop real or imagined experiences or events using effective technique, relevant descriptive details, and structured event sequences. All right, let's get started. Just like a formal essay, a narrative has 3 parts. And these 3 parts are the orientation, which is the introduction of characters and setting, the problem, which is a complication or exciting moment when something goes wrong, and the solution, the character's quick thinking or action that solves the problem. All right, let's get started with planning your narrative. I want you to take your sheet of paper and I want you to fold it to where it has 3 sections. So to do that, you'll fold towards the center like this, and then fold it again this way to where it overlaps. Don't worry about it being perfectly straight. And when you open it up, you'll have 3 sections. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to label these 3 sections. When you label them, it will look like this. So what I want you to do in the first section, I want you to label orientation, and then underneath orientation, label characters, leave some space, label setting. In the middle section, I want you to label problem, and then underneath problem, write the word complication. And lastly, in the final section, just write the word solution. And you don't need to write anything underneath. What I'm going to do is I'm going to model for you how to fill this in. This is your planning sheet that you'll write your narrative from. We're going to begin with a story starter. For my planning, this was my story starter. Oh no, I did it again. Now, let me show you what I filled out on my planning sheet. Characters. 1. Emily, a college-age young lady who is stressed about her finals and grades. 2. College instructor. Notice I gave some detail with the character Emily, and the reason I did that is so that I can, when I go to write it, it's going to help me out a little bit by giving me those details ahead of time. Make the writing process easier. Setting. Where? On her sofa in her living room. Sofa's next to a coffee table littered with empty goldfish snack cartons, M&M's bags half empty, books, and papers. Time is mid-afternoon. Again, I provided some detail to help with the writing process later on. For the problem, the complication is her most important final is today. She fell asleep on the sofa and forgot to set her alarm. It's an hour after the final. that's a problem. And now for the solution. After some desperate emails and phone calls to her not so easygoing instructor, Emily is given until sundown to complete her final to get it in on time. And that is how you do your planning sheet. Remember, piece of advice, give some details on your planning. Don't just put one-word answers. The more detail you give here will help you out later on in the writing process. All right, are you ready to try yours? Get that planning sheet ready. One that looks like this. And now I'm going to give you your story starter. Are you ready? The bell rang and I sprinted toward my locker. All right, now on your own, you're going to fill out your character, your setting, your complication, and your solution to this story starter. Helpful hint, and this is also another piece of advice. Let's say you're having a little trouble coming up with your character. Well, just use yourself and then put a different name for yourself. I'm sure you have sprinted to your locker several times in school, and so why not think about those embarrassing moments or the funny situations that you get yourself into, or the aggravating things that happen when you try to sprint towards your locker in the very crowded hallway. So use what you know, because that is going to make the writing process so much easier. You still get to be creative by embellishing a little bit. Well, let's wrap up what we did here today. Today, we developed a plan for writing a narrative, and then ultimately you will write your own narrative from that plan. I can't wait to read what you write. Thank you for watching me today. You can watch more lessons like this so that we can keep learning together. You can watch more lessons like this on STPPSTV or on our website at stpsb.org. See you soon.